Hey everybody, it's Ryndur'd here, back with another review. I've got this one unboxed. I actually don't have the figure. I have the figure in my hand at the moment just because it takes a little bit to make them stand, and I kind of wanted to cover a couple things. So we're gonna go with S.H.Figuarts Sailor Saturn from the Sailor Moon line. I'm gonna go on record by saying this is probably my favorite Sailor Senshi, and I don't know why, because you didn't get much character out of her. I think I want to say she showed up in Sailor Moon R, but I can't remember. I don't think she showed up in Sailor Moon S. And then of course with Sailor Moon Crystal, that's happening right now. I don't know when they're going to show her. I know they just introduced Pluto not too long ago. But that being said, let's look at this. Is actually, just like I said, one of my favorite characters in this series. I just like the look of the character. I like the idea. If you don't know, I don't think I'm spoiling things too crazy in regards to this by saying that Sailor Saturn is the Sailor Soldier of Death and Rebirth. Because I mean, if you don't know that by now, unless you seriously have never watched the series, I don't think I'm spoiling anything that's a little over 10-15 years old. So probably a little longer than that. This is, as you might recall, I've done two S.H.Figuarts reviews now. I've done Mario, where I have considered him a basic entry-level welcome to the world of S.H.Figuarts. I've done Luigi, which is a step up. I think not quite intermediary, or an intermediate figure, but definitely basic plus. And honestly, we're kind of skipping the intermediate and going straight to, this is what an S.H.Figuarts figure. This is where your money goes when you're purchasing these figures. This is the beauty of it. And I'll show you the figure here, and this is actually her here. It's a 5-inch figure, maybe. Get a close-up look here, and she has a different face on right now because I had taken photos. So photo gallery of Sailor Saturn is up on Ryndur'dReviews.com, www.Ryndur'dReviews.com. The link will be below. It's also up on our Facebook page. So every review or every photo shoot I do, I'm putting them up on Ryndur'dReviews.com as well as our Facebook page. So check them out. If you go to the Facebook page, like us. Click the like button. I'd love to know who's coming and visiting. If you go to the Ryndur'd Reviews webpage, thank you, guys. Really. You know, the webpage itself's only been open since the end of April, and already we're getting an overwhelming response. I'm touched. I actually am very humbled by the people who are coming to the site. Not only to see the galleries, but I'm hoping to see the reviews as well. And if you're here, you know, click the subscribe button. Let me know. Give me some, you know, share the love. I love you guys. I love the fact that you guys come here. I love the fact that you guys check out these videos. And I'm grateful for you. And you know, I'm not just saying that. I really am truly grateful for the fact that you guys come and give me some of your time while I share all that I absolutely love with you guys. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move some of these things out of the way. We'll look at the box first and get a good look at it. So we've got the Sailor Moon logo up here. We'll bring that up. We've got the Toei animation sticker. We've got a 20th anniversary of Sailor Moon. I said 15. So 20 years of Sailor Moon. This year or last year, I think, was the 20th anniversary. So I honestly think it was last year because these started coming out last year. S.H.Figuarts, Tamashii Nation, and Bandai. Tamashii Nation and Bandai work hand in hand with a lot of these things. And of course, Bluefin is who actually distributes them in America. So if you hear me say Bluefin, that's the reason why. We've got Sailor Saturn written on the side here. we've got Pretty Guardian Sailor Saturn, and we have an image of her, and it's based off the actual figure itself. We have a smiling expression on her face. And again, I've mentioned this with Luigi. These are small parts. These are actual figures dedicated to the collector. So these are not the kind of figures you want to buy for your 6-year-old. You know, your 3-year-olds for sure. Anyone younger, it's just very careful. The parts are small, and you'll see when I show you the hands what I mean. The top of the box, we got a good look at her face. S.H.Figuarts again. We have a picture of her pose with space, with the galaxy in there. And then a kind of description of what Figuarts is all about. On the side, we have another picture of her in her figure form, different face. She's actually holding the her staff there. And then, of course, we have another picture of her on her side. And a little bit more description on what Figuarts is all about. And I'm just doing this one-handed, and I'm sorry. So we have some Japanese writing. Japanese isn't that good to read it, unless it's probably just warnings and things like that. So we have obligatory product shots, poses, a picture of all the faces she comes with. S.H.Figuarts, simple style and heroic action. Some posing of the figures, so just more product shot of what to expect. That's her Henshin pose. So after she's transformed and is in the roll call state, that's the form or the pose that she holds there from the cartoon. So that's the box. And we'll look at the accessories first. There's a lot to the figure, so I just kind of want to get the accessory stuff out of the way. I'll go ahead and look. She comes with a stand. So this is the stand. It has Sailor Saturn written on it. It's got her Sailor Saturn symbol. So this is the symbol that appears on the forehead of the character prior to their tiaras showing up. And then a little bit of design, little stars and stuff like that. So it's in the shape of a heart. All Sailor Moon figures. As far as the Saturn, can't speak for Tuxedo Common. I don't know what the stand he's going to come with, if he even comes with one. Chances are he will. But all the Sailor Soldiers, all the Sailor Senshi, will come with a heart-shaped base. And you'll see that because I have Mercury and Venus, which we'll be doing reviews on as well. So there's that. Here's the armature that comes. And if you remember from my Luigi review, I mentioned that the armatures are a little different for them. So this one actually comes with 3 hinges, one for the base, the one for the middle. This is, again, the best way to move these is by getting close to the hinge itself. Moving it out here applies, or out in the side, and doing that applies way too much stress here. Eventually it breaks it. And that is just plastic with a screw. So it's not like there's much of a buffer in there grasping it, so it is really easy to break those. I have a number of these broken just because of the way that I had actually handled them. And then you have the clip to hold the figure. This piece comes off, it's just plugged in, so you can see that, and this just plugs right into place. I love Tamashii stands. I think that they're just awesome. The fact that they come with a figure makes it even better. So this is their staff, and we'll get a good look at it. That's just the pommel to the staff. Some good detail on there. We'll bring it down. Sorry about my nails. And then, of course, there's the glaive. It's not a staff, it's a glaive. I don't even know why I called it a staff. This is actually her glaive, her signature weapon. There's some detail right at the blade on both sides. Another thing that makes me love S.H.Figuarts figures, they really do look at trying to put as much of the detail into the figure as possible. Even for something that's about 5 inches tall, you're getting statue quality items. This here, I kind of left it in the plastic. It comes in the plastic. This is something, there's 2 things about this. You'll see that when I do Sailor Moon, or not Sailor Moon, but Sailor Mercury and Jupiter. No, Sailor Mercury and Venus. I have Jupiter on the brain. Each one of these hands, and there's a left and right hand, and there's 4 sets of left and right hands. Let's get a little closer. They're on little pegs. Figma figures are really good about this, and when I get sent in here by the end of the month, I will show you this. They come with these little stands that you plug your hands into, and this just kind of helps keep them from getting lost. As you can see, I mean, these are small, okay? I mean, they're really tiny, and they're easy to lose, especially if you don't keep the box. In some cases, you know, you put these things in a Ziploc baggie, and you're just lucky to make sure that you have all the pieces. These are dynamic little hands. Obviously, they're going to hold character signature hand poses. So you want to be able to save them, and if you're not like me and you don't keep the box, and there's nothing wrong with not keeping the box, you definitely want to find a way to save them. And this is the gripping hand. This is for her to hold her glaive. Again, they come off, and they're tiny. I mean, it's a tiny figure, you know, for these particular figures. I'm sorry, I got that out of thing there. So, again, little peg, post it in. There you go. I'll set that aside. We have extended and open hands. 4. And of course, closed fists. And she has hands on her now. So, oops, sorry. She has hands on her now. So really, she comes with 5 sets of hands that she can use. Now, here's what's nice about this. Okay, these little things. Did you notice there's a hole here. There's a peg there. All of these snap together. I'm sorry, I keep moving it out of the frame there. I promise you, it's not intentional. So you can keep all the hands together in a little deal. Figma has something like this. Of course, their figures, they don't fall in ball joints. They're actually on a hinge. And then a post. So the posts go into these little white brackets that hold the hands in place. And I think this is really cool. I wish that this was introduced with some of the older Sailor Moon figures, but they weren't. But that's just, you know, that's just how it is. That's okay. I'm not going to throw a fit about it. I'm setting those aside because I will be switching out the hands here in a minute. And then, of course, I'm knocking over everything else. She does come with 3 faces. This is actually the face that she was sent with in the box. So when you buy her, that's the face that she has. She has earrings, of course. The tiara. The tiara actually has a little paint on it. It's a silver gem. And of course the eyes. And her eyes are more kind of a velvet color, you know, purple violet. So, and she has the highlights in it. So that's one face. She does have a kind of a, this is my battle call, angry. I'm getting angry. I'm calling out my special attack face. And then of course she just has a you wouldn't like me when I'm angry face. And all of them have the same paint apps applied to it. All of them have the same eyes and whatnot. Now, we'll get those out of the way. We'll get the stand and the glaive out of the way, and we'll bring up the figure. As you can see, this face, she actually has her eyes closed. And she has her head is on a ball joint, so you get the full 360 turn, up and down, looks up. As you can see, the star brooch very much resembles a lot of how that looks. I mean, it's got that same shape. I wouldn't say it's the same type look, but you know, you'll see on a lot of the other Sailor Senshi, it's just the circular brooch, just a dot of whatever color. Now she has the purple little back to her sailor uniform. And as you can see, this is kind of a brownish purple. It's not really a full purple, so it's more dark purple, kind of into the brown on both bows. But the purple on her collar matches her skirt, which matches her elbows, and then her boots. And she has kind of a stiletto-y boot that laces up to the knee. To add to articulation, she does have her arm. Her arm actually can spin 360. It goes up and down. It is on a ball joint, as you can kind of see in there. And in that same ball joint, it's got a little bit of motion back and forth. So not only do you have the ball joint of the shoulder, you have the joint that goes into the actual chest. And there you go. That's actually kind of a better view of it. So you see that ball joint goes right into the chest, so she can go back and forth, as well as all that. The elbows bend. They don't turn. They kind of, if any turning goes at the top of the forearm, or at the top of the bicep. She does have a wrist, and the wrist is 360. And you can kind of get some additional movement. So, you know, hand out, hand in, kind of up and down, back and forth like that. It's on a ball joint, so again, you can, you know, this is for changing the hands out. And you get that on both sides. Her legs, and kind of going into a little, you know, bit here. So she does have ball joint on the hip. She has kind of a more of another joint in here. Kind of helps with the swivel on the legs. And she can pull the hips down. So it's kind of like a... Oh, man, what's causing me to stutter is I want to call it a lever, and it's not. It's just a... You know, it's just an ability to kind of set those legs out. And it gives you a little bit more of the pose so that you can kind of do certain things. And, yeah, you know, she could do the splits. She's got the hip, you know, you can kind of make her sit if you really want. Not so much cross-legged. Well, I guess you can actually, look at that. See, so, you know, if you're, you know, kind of into that, she can kind of get the whole Zen thing going on too. She just, boop, you know. There you go. Now she can find inner peace and tranquility. How cool is that? Who doesn't want inner peace and tranquility? Everybody needs some inner peace and tranquility. I'm going to pull this forward here. As you can hear, I hit my bag. I'm kind of resituating myself. So, you know, you got that. And not too bad. The knees, of course. There's no swivel in the knee, so you get what you get with the knee. I'm putting the legs back. You do get 360 with the foot, and you get up and down. So you can get a little bit of movement there on the hip, on the knee. And get some kind of posability here. So kind of a little, I don't want to say prayer pose. I don't know what you would call that. So, you know, there you go. Let me go ahead and grab the stand. I'm going to put that on here. Kind of give you an idea. The stand is a little weird. I mean, you gotta line it up just right for it to work. Granted, the bow makes it a little difficult. You don't have to clamp her down with the little clamp on it. It just kind of helps get some grip. And then she can stand. And she doesn't have to stand always directly on this. She can, you know, you can do some dynamic posing. A foot can be off the stand. It doesn't have to be on there. So, move that over a little bit. It gives you an idea of how the stand works for her. And, you know, I kind of brought this over. This is the stand from Luigi and Mario. And it will kind of work too, kind of given the situation. You can take this off. This should actually plug in just fine with the small one. See, just like that. Oh, just like that. I'm going to take this piece off the bottom. Now granted, it's not going to be as tight fit. It's not meant for that particular stand, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And depending on how you want to do your action poses, you know, you could probably set it up. Let's see. We're doing this kind of as is, so, you know. She's getting ready to do a roundhouse kick. How about that? We'll just do roundhouse kicks. She's up in the air. Bam. Well, let's do this. We'll clamp her down right there. She's light enough, it should actually work. So So you're getting a little bit of action pose. I can't see your face. You got it, you know. Granted, the base of that's a little loose, but now you got it up there, and you get her going with her glaive. I mean, you could have her coming down, ready to strike some death and rebirth justice, as it were. So, if you have other stands, it's worth testing them out, seeing what you can get out of it. Again, that was loose on the bottom, so it kind of tells you right now I can use it, but it's not designed for it, so, you know, be wary. That leads me to some of the other things here. So we're going to look at the other stuff. You know, we're going to go ahead and start with the head first, because the hands kind of dictate what works with the head, because I don't think you want to use Sailor Moon's justice and, you know, in the name of the moon, I'll punish you hands when she's closing her eyes, right? So the head comes off, or the hair comes off first. Gives you access. There's pegs here, okay? And it's a soft plastic, so you got that. We'll set that aside. And then, of course, you have a view of her head. And now she has no bangs. So it's kind of like a Klingon, really, if you think about it. I don't know. I might have just pissed off the Star Trek fan base. So there's the other head. There's your pegs. The other face. So we'll just go with her eyes open look, right? And you get a better view of the ball joint that it's on right there. And so you just plug it in. And you bring her hair back. And there you go. Now she's awake. She's ready for the day. She splashed a little water on her face. She's good to go. Now, with that being said, you know, we could change up her hand. Let's take one of her hands for grabbing stuff. Pop that off. Sometimes it's a little difficult because it is a ball joint. You try to put these on, and the first thing they're going to want to do is slide on you. So we've got our glaive here, and you have to kind of work it in. The glaive itself isn't separable, or separates into pieces so that you can slide it into her hand. So you have to work on it. Just like that. So there's her glaive. Right? And so you've got your dynamic posing right there. So she's ready for battle right there, man. So I'm the sailor soldier of I'm going to kill you and maybe you'll be reborn in another life. But if I die, I'm going to be reborn in another life. Because, you know, when she dies, she's just reborn. Is that a spoiler alert? That's probably... No, it's 20 years. You guys, if you get mad at me for the spoiler alert, I'm sorry. But it has been 20 years. So, there you go. So you got that. You can take both hands, you know. We'll come back over here. I'm going to take the other hand off. Throw that down. And look, this kind of thing. This figure I had an issue with because, you know, you have the ball and then the little socket, and there's the ball joint in there. So I have had some issues with this particular figure where, depending on how I pose the arm actually just completely comes off. So it has been annoying, but overall you kind of fix it. So there you go. And she can hold it with both hands. She can kind of do that. You know, she can warn you. At this point, because she has the glaive in her hands, take the head off. Let's get scary yelly face put on there. And, you know, don't tell me she doesn't mean business at this point, you know. There you go. I'm on it, man. I am terribly gonna just tear you up. Ooh, get a look at that face in there. But you can kind of pick your nose at this point with that thing. Not that I would highly recommend picking your nose with a glaive. In fact, I highly recommend not having a glaive unless you're old enough to appreciate the fact that you have something very sharp in your house. Do they even sell glaives anymore? I don't know. So there you go. There's there's Sailor Saturn. We can get some other poses in here. Again, you can kind of go over her head a little bit. There you go. You can kind of go down, foot up. The skirt itself is a soft rubbery plastic, so you can kind of mess with it. It's got slits on either side, so that it can accommodate the fact that the figure's legs are going to do some things that normally would allow for flow of a skirt. And of course, she's in a unitard, so anyone who freaks out about the fact that her leotard thing shows off underneath the skirt, it's that's just how it is. Not that I condone checking out people underneath their skirt. That's just wrong. This is a kids show, people. This is a kids friend and family friendly show. We don't want to do anything that would jeopardize that. So there you go. You got a little pose here. You got her on her thing. Bring it up close, so she can be like shoving that up your nose again. There's a lot you can do with that figure. You got some options. I could throw a couple other hands in here. I mean, she doesn't always have to be holding the glaive. We can pop those off. I'm just leaving the hands on the glaive. Why not? Can have her, getting ready for a rock and roll concert. She's about to go see Megadeth. So rock and roll, there you go. I'm about to party on. This isn't the kind of girl who goes and sees the Backstreet Boys. This is the kind of girl who goes and sees Megadeth. She goes to see Metallica, before they sold out. She goes, she's there, man. She's ready to rock and roll. Yeah, if you really want to make her an imitation Sailor Moon pose of how she's going to punish you and stuff, you can do that too, So in the name of Saturn, there you go. In the name of Saturn, she'll punish you or something. I don't know. I couldn't get it close. The hand wants to pop off. I'm going to change out some of the other hands. And I'll put the other face on so you kind of see as well. I'm taking it off camera. Sorry, because I'm just kind of grabbing some things. So we'll grab these hands. And I'm going to put the extended hands out. The ones with the fingers extended all out. Oh. And of course I just popped her arm off. I'm so glad you guys couldn't see that part. And I'm putting on a different face here, so sorry for the dead space here. We're gonna just put a different face on. What do we got? We're gonna go with her You Won't Like Me When I'm Angry face. And maybe she's just like that. Maybe she's like, you won't like me when I'm angry face because she needs a hug. Give her a hug. 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 I'll throw the other hands off here real quick. And I'll give you the last ones, the fists. Because what Sailor Senshi doesn't have to, ball up the fists every now and again. And, she could be old school boxer, put up your dukes. I'll give you such a thrashing. Thrashing. Or maybe she just likes to, we give her back her happy face where she's all open mouthed and she could be like, squee, like, yay me, I just passed algebra. Not that I think a Sailor Senshi gives a crap about algebra. Where's my squealy face? No, no, it's not a squee face. It's kind of a yelly face. It should be like, I don't know. Yay! I don't know. Does it look like a yay face? You tell me. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna get kind of a couple of these things out of the way here. As we know, Mario was about $24. Luigi, $34. This one's about $44 as a figure. As an overall cost, well, no, we're gonna go with just the design. The design-wise, she looks very much more like the original anime that came out versus whatever her Sailor Crystal version is gonna look like. And it's a good design. You know, she looks a lot like the movies and stuff like that. So honestly, I'm kind of giving her more 4 out of 5 for the overall design, for the color, for the paint apps. Articulation is good, is really good for this figure. So that's 5 stars in my opinion, because you can get a lot more out of it. And then with the assistance of different Tamashii stuff, and one of these days, I mean, if I can get my hands on like Jupiter, I'd like to get some of the Tamashii effects, like the lightning effects or something like that. And I think it'd be kind of cool to have some Tamashii effects for these figures as well, exploding ground or something, you know. So when she jumps out of the air with her glaive, you can have her look like she's hitting the ground with the glaive, and then some rocks exploding around her. I think it you know, it adds to that effect. It's a nice thing about Tamashii. So really, articulation on this point, 5 stars. Overall cost, this is your honest to goodness. This is how a Tamashii figure should look. This is what you get for an S.H.Figuarts figure. So I have seen these things go up to $60–$70. I think Android 16 from Dragon Ball Z is in that $60 field. So $40 for this is extremely well priced. You know, so that the fact that they've made it cost that much, you know, definitely 4.5 stars on cost. Again, I don't know if they'll reduce the cost on these down the road as they're getting ready to run them out. I've only seen one Sailor Saturn, so and I got this one. This is another one of those ones that you get at Barnes and Noble, and it just depends on the Barnes and Noble. The Mario stuff, all over the place. Some of the Barnes and Nobles are getting into the gunplay stuff, are getting into a couple of the other figures, Play Art Kai, things like that. If you find the right Barnes and Nobles, you can find some of these figures, because they have a deal with Bluefin, it seems like, as a distributor. So that's where this one comes from. A lot of these you can find on Amazon as well. And then you're just having to pay the figure plus shipping, unless your Amazon Plus or something, Amazon Prime. You don't have to do shipping, or I don't know. But if you do find it cheaper, get it, man. I mean, seriously, this is one of those figures. You know, it boils down, like I said, it always boils down to cost. If you're a collector on a budget, and you have the few bucks to spare, more than, you know, like a normal Transformer or something like that, you're really not you're not going to get disappointed with an S.H.Figuarts figure. That's what they're designed for. They're designed for us, the collector. And then if you can find them on the cheap, then, you know, score, double win. You've got it not only for the figure, but you've got it for you know, you've got it for a great cost. So I love this figure. My overall rating on this figure really is 4.5 stars. Very happy with it. Highly recommend it. And like I said, if you want to see some more of the posing, you want to see some more of the pictures we took, go out to Ryndur'd reviews.com. and check it out. We have other galleries opening up. Right now we have over almost 30 different galleries between import figures and mostly a lot of Transformers. We're getting ready to add some Star Wars figures to those galleries. So check it out. Check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Definitely want to see the people out there, you know, make that connection. Subscribe to the channel. Tell me you like this video. You know, rate it. You don't like something about the video, I didn't do something right, or you guys want to see something else in regards to what Sailor Saturn can or cannot do as a figure, let me know. Put it in the comments. Definitely. We're definitely grateful for everybody who comes out. So this is my review of Sailor Saturn S.H.Figuarts. And with that said, I want to thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. And, oh, and of course, don't forget to check out the other stuff. We're going to put a card here so you guys can check out the other videos and playlists and stuff like that. So, so yeah, check us out. Check out the videos, subscribe, rate, and comment. And thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for checking this stuff out, guys. I definitely appreciate it. Overall cost. This is your honest to goodness. This is how a Tamashii figure should look. This is what you get for an S.H.Figuarts figure. So I have seen these things go up to $60, $70. I think Android 16 from Dragon Ball Z is in that $60 field. So $40 for this is extremely well priced. You know, so that the fact that they've made it cost that much, you know, definitely 4.5 stars on cost. Again, I don't know if they'll reduce the cost on these down the road as they're getting ready to run them out. I've only seen one Sailor Saturn, so and I got this one. This is another one of those ones that you get at Barnes & Noble, and it just depends on the Barnes & Noble. The Mario stuff, all over the place. Some of the Barnes & Nobles are getting into the gunplay stuff, are getting into a couple of the other figures, Play Art Kai, things like that. If you find the right Barnes & Nobles, you can find some of these figures, because they have a deal with Bluefin, it seems like, as a distributor. So this is where this one comes from. A lot of these you can find on Amazon as well. And then you're just having to pay the figure plus shipping, unless your Amazon was Amazon Plus or something, Amazon Prime. You don't have to do shipping, or I don't know. But if you do find it cheaper, get it, man. Seriously, this is one of those figures. You know, it boils down, like I said, it always boils down to cost. If you're a collector on a budget, and you have the few bucks to spare, more than, you know, like a normal Transformer or something like that, you're really not you're not going to get disappointed with an S.H.Figuarts figure. That's what they're designed for. They're designed for us, the collector. And then if you can find them on the cheap, then, you know, score, double win. You've got it not only for the figure, but you've got it for you know, you've got it for a great cost. So I love this figure. My overall rating on this figure really is 4.5 stars. Very happy with it. Highly recommend it. And like I said, if you want to see some more of the posing, you want to see some more of the pictures we took, go out to Ryndur'd and check it out. We have other galleries opening up. Right now we have over almost 30 different galleries between import figures and mostly a lot of Transformers. We're getting ready to add some Star Wars figures to those galleries. So check it out. Check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Definitely want to see the people out there, you know, make that connection. Subscribe to the channel. Tell me you like this video. You know, rate it. you don't like something about the video, I didn't do something right, or you guys want to see something else in regards to what Sailor Saturn can or cannot do as a figure, let me know. Put it in the comments. Definitely. We're definitely grateful for everybody who comes out. So this is my review of Sailor Saturn S.H.Figuarts. And with that said, I want to thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.